Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got the Q, I've got an I to go with it, but the rack leave after that isn't great. If my opponent plays a U, then I could play Quill. But given that I've got the Q and the I, if my opponent doesn't play a U, I may consider retaining the Q. Slightly tricky situation. It's nice to get off to a good start, and this rack makes it very hard to do that. No U from my opponent, so I've got a choice of spots to play Chi. Should I do that? Probably yes. So this is going to be the highest scoring spot. 22 points. Chi takes an N and an S. Yep, I'm going with this. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. In fact, it's quite good. I could have a bingo here. Not seen anything yet. If I don't see a bingo, I've got a scoring tile in the P and the rack's fairly balanced. I suspect there are a number of 8s through the right floater, just considering the first 3 tiles in node I. The N looks promising, but I can't see anything. What about the O? Nope, not seeing anything there. And the D, a play would have to begin with that. I can't see anything. I don't have any letters for going after Chi, and the board is not offering very much at the moment. Nothing goes in front of Chi, and I don't have the tiles for going after it in either direction. So I'm left with the first few tiles in node I. Fortunately, it's my opponent's turn to play, and he will probably create some new openings. Okay, nice score for my opponent. He has provided a few new floaters, but I don't think they help me. I have an A for going after the Z. So can I use that? Well, I can, because PAL is good. And that leaves quite a nice rack leave. So PAL for 31. Am I missing something? Palletise is good, but I would need another E for that. Quite a good score. I could play an E for 4 more points, but I think the E is probably worth about that with this rack leave. I'm going with this. Okay. Interesting. Do I have something with the N? This rack looks like it goes quite well with the N. I've got the ING ending. I don't think leviting is good. I'm just wondering if vigilate is good, or if an anagram of it is good, were an A to be available. Well, I'm not seeing anything. I should be able to sort the rack out fairly easily. I can play Vig, Go and In, which would really block the board up, and I'm 1 point behind at the moment with my opponent on turn, so I may not wish to do that. Well, my opponent goes in that spot. However, has he given me Vigilante? I think he has. Yes, he has. Thank you. Great. Vigilante for 65 points. Superb. And that is a pretty good pickup. Now, do I have sex to let? I think I do through the E. Yes, so if that remains available, I've got back-to-back bingos. However, it could easily be taken since the E is next to a triple letter square. But maybe if my opponent takes that, he will provide another floating E. I'm just wondering if sex to let or sex to let has got an anagram. Tilo, Texas. Or is that one? Is that sex to let plus one? Yeah, it is. Nothing goes beside the V, so Vigilante is not going to draw my opponent to a play in column 8 at the top. Are there any other good X spots that I haven't considered? Well, I've got extols in column 8. But if this E is taken, that's likely to be blocked. So what about a play beginning with the A? I've got Axel for 33, but that's keeping 2 T's. Do I have another bingo? There's a floating I in rows C and E. My opponent steals my E effectively. Just checking that he has blocked it because sex to let plays in 2 spots. Yep. Blocked. How annoying. Has my opponent provided anything? Well, I was going to say I've got latex, but I don't. LE isn't good. So there's nowhere super hot for my X. I could just play locks. That's keeping the duplicate T. However, stat's not a bad leave. That would create a hottish spot above Axe, however, for not a very great score. I could play extol in that spot, but that's hanging the X over a double word square. Can't see anything down from the S. Now surely there's a good X spot. Do I have something in column 14, a 5-letter play ending SEX? Nope, I don't. 16 minutes on my clock. Tricky position. Just not too many X words presenting themselves. And it just doesn't feel like a good play in row L. Well, what about Axel? 33. Tex is good, but that doesn't play in row L. Now, what about sexto? 36 points. Not massively dangerous. I'm not really gifting my opponent anything fabulous with the X. Rackley, a little bit ropey, but there are floating vowels at the top and the bottom of the board. So the question is this better than Axel? Axel's 33, so this is 3 more points. So is Stott better than LST? I don't think so. I think I'm going with this. Well, Trammels through an A. Can't see anything through an I. That was the risk in retaining all consonants. I pick up 3. Through a U, I would have tumblers. So I would have a bingo through a U or an A, but the floating vowels are I and O. However, I'm sure there are things I can do with this rack. I've got two M's. The M can go in between the A and the E, so I could play Mam for a reasonable score and a good rack leave. And also, there's the E of Le Sueur to consider, so I could play double M in that spot. And I suspect, or I'm fairly sure, that one of those will remain available. Wow, 44 points for my opponent. Nice score for him. And that's quite nice for me as well, because I now have trammels. Now, is Strammel good? If Strammel is good, then I've got a much bigger play because of chins. Very, very tempting. I think I'm going with this. I think it's good. 94 points if it is, and immense annoyance if it's not. Not a great pickup. 5 vowels. Just waiting to see if this is challenged. I'm thinking of something, and hopefully it's this. Now, if this stays on, I've got a 40-point lead. And my rack isn't great. There could be a bingo. There are 5 vowel 8s, quite a few hundred of them. But what about this particular set? Well, there's quite a lot with this particular set. Because, for example, it goes with something. I used to have a mnemonic system for remembering the 5 vowel 8s, and AEEII comes out as L for the first 3, and J for the second 2, and LJ as Long John Silver, and that's the trigger for a story involving Long John Silver, which is followed by various things which happen to him, which involve words with three consonants, which is the mnemonic method going on a journey. But I haven't refreshed my memory of that for quite a while. Now, well, I would have aperitif through a T and a V. I'm not seeing anything bingo wise. However, there is a scoring tile in the P. So how can I... Wow, another bingo for my opponent. He takes the lead. Brutal. 2 more consonants to consider. It's so easy to miss 5 vowel 8s, which is why I had a mnemonic system. Or I certainly find them easy to miss. So, is there something with a D? Well, I have Epiirid, which isn't a bingo, but it sorts the rack out pretty nicely. What about the N? I can't see anything, so I'm going to abandon finding a bingo. It's nice to see Strammel stay on the board. Do I have a play in row O? My P can go under the U. Well, I don't think so. So Epiirid for 33. Pretty good pickup. Balanced, no duplicates. No bingo, well, I was going to say no bingo springs to mind, but boarding, I have boarding through this N, should that remain available. Brigadoon through 2 tiles, which may not be good. Maybe a play or a musical or something like that. But anyway, fairly nice rack. I'm behind, which isn't good. Opponent takes my spot again. Second bingo blocked. However, he only gets 26 points, which is good. I've got the oid ending. So let me consider the remaining floaters. The V doesn't look promising. Nor does the I. And likewise for the G. So I am 28 points behind. This little spot remains available between the E and the A. That could be the place to sort this rack out. So I could play badge in this spot, but that's keeping A, I, O, R. Let me check the remaining vowels. Only 19 tiles in the bag. 9 vowels out of 26. However, look at this. Only one A, only one I, only one O. So badge could be quite handy. Still a blank to come. I think playing badger is stretching it too much, in that although the bag is consonant heavy, leaving just vowels is an invitation to draw a couple of U's and to be in trouble. Now I thought about playing badge fairly quickly. It scores 25 points. Is there 30 points or something similar on offer? Still a C to come for going between E and O. One S to come. Epiirids is good, I think. But spots for B, D or G. Badge is quite good in that it stops my opponent sticking an F or an H there, or a B. I think I'm going with this. Okay, I draw one of the U's, which is a shame. It would have been nice if all 3 were on my opponent's rack. No scoring tiles, and I'm 3 points behind with my opponent on turn. Is there a bingo with this rack? And really, all I need to consider are the floaters, the first 3 floaters in Vigilantes. Can't see anything with the V. The I doesn't look useful. What about the G? Can't see anything. I think there might be a bingo with a T. I'm thinking of Roturian, but something about that doesn't seem right. Fortunately, that's not available. However, this is problematic. I have no scoring tiles, which means I'm going to struggle to score 20 or 30 points, which I think I need to stay in the mix. I thought my opponent had bingoed. He hasn't. He's played off 6 tiles. 10 tiles in the bag. There's still a blank unseen. 5 vowels out of 17. Okay, so it's not massively unbalanced. Well, I've just seen I've got Ureo down here. And that's 22 points, which is a decent score. It obstructs my opponent from pluralizing Scrabble. The rack leave is good. I think I'm going with this. Not good. Not good. I do draw... Well, I'm not sure what a good rack would look like. I guess there's a pretty hot bingo lane in column 2. And it would have been nicer to have been closer to a bingo than this. There aren't really many spots for the scoring tiles on this board. Sometimes there are, and you can be grateful to have them. I don't feel like this with this board. I guess row N could be, if I can get my F or my A here. But I can't see a play. Alf is good, but I've got nothing which goes after ZA. The Via Vigilantes is preventing a column 8 play. Neither my F or B go above the U. However, I could play Burn and New for 20 points. Not too dangerous. And by Burn, what do I mean, since I haven't got a U? I mean Fern with the F. I'm not in a good position. I'm only 5 points behind, but my opponent's on turn. Not many tiles left. There's a blank out there, an S out there. Could both be on my opponent's rack. So I could be 30 or 40 points behind after my opponent's move. And there's only one bingo lane, which is a shame, because if I need a bingo, then it's nice to have a choice. There is a second one through the eye, Vigilantes, but both could be blocked. Or one could be blocked, leaving just one, and then if I don't have a bingo, which I don't, I need to open another. Interesting. 28 points for my opponent. He's left the 2 bingo lanes available. But if I play Fern, I'm blocking both of them. Do I want to do that when I'm 33 points behind? I don't think so. Alf takes an A and an S. Maybe my opponent's got that in mind. A selfish bingo lane for him. The remaining tile's pretty bingo-y. Not sure I can really worry about that. But Fern, not good. It cannot be right to block both bingo lanes. But I'm struggling to see what to do with this rack. I thought it was trouble from the moment I saw it. What would be nice would be to open a new bingo lane and score 20 or 30 points. Can't see a way of doing that. Let me see what Fern scores. 4 tiles left. This is going to empty the bag. Another bad thing to do. However, let me see the score. 26. Still 26, but a slightly better rack leave. 26 would take me to 356, only 5 behind. I think this does keep me in with a slim chance of winning. Just notice the U is available for bingos through it. I don't think I've got a bingo there. 8 minutes on my clock, 8 minutes on my opponent's clock. So, I'd like to play off the F and the N. That's at a minimum. Is there any way... And there's only 4 tiles in the bag, so I'd like to play off 3 tiles. Can I do that? I think the best I can do would be Finn through UV, which is only 2 tiles and it's obstructing the eye. That's not good. Arf is good, but that's only 1 tile and it's keeping duplicate N. I'm inclined to play Fern. I don't like it, but I haven't seen anything better. Well, only 1 tile left. My opponent probably has got the S and the blank, but he could also have UWW. Fantastic. And I've got the... So he probably hasn't got a bingo, if you just imagine him without the U or without one of the Ws. Possibly without one of the Ws as something, outsewn, maybe. Which could have been blocked by Fern. Okay, Habitant through an E. No E. 46 points for my opponent. That's probably going to be enough for him. He's got Wuss, which plays in column 14. Does he have a second out? He surely does. He has Wuss and News. So I think this game is gone. No E for Habitant. Anything through an I? Can't see anything through an I. I can't see any way of scoring. Well, I would need to score a bingo to win this game, since my opponent is guaranteed to go out next go. So, is there anything through an I? I don't think so. Nothing is feeling even remotely close. So, how to play out this game with dignity? Do I have anything in column 2? Getting my B or H Tripled. Is Baith good? Don't think so, but it could be. Do I need to block either of my opponent's spots? 17 or 15 rather in row F. 15 in, or thereabouts in column 14, so much of a muchness. Is Baith good? 36 points if it is. Don't think so. Do I have anything through the F? Unlikely. Nothing goes in front of NU for a row C play. Kaya takes an H. I've got one. So I've got EH. B goes between and O. But unfortunately, Hab and Heb are not good. What is best here? I don't have a C for eco. My H can go after the C. Well, let me see what EH scores. 42 points. Gifting my opponent 17 for wuss, which is pretty much the same as he got in row F. Well, if I play HE, then my opponent's got wuss for a bigger score, even though my score is better. 4 minutes on my clock, so I've got EH for about 40. What else is there? $36 for Baith. I'm going with the 40-point play. 42 points. Actually, this doesn't quite look so valid now. Yeah, that may be a phony. It doesn't look quite right. Which would be a little ignominious, but it doesn't alter the game. Yeah, okay. My bad. Opponent goes out, pass to end the game. And the final score, 354 to me, 445 to my opponent. A winning margin of 91 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He's got adjoin. He plays node I. I play chi, had G10. Yep, that looks fine. Wow. My opponent has Zabajone through a B. No B. Plays Ozina for 44. Palliate. Wow, there was a bingo with this rack. Through the A of Ozina. Palliate, I missed that. I played Pal, which is significantly inferior. The opponent plays Raj. I have Vigilante, which I was delighted to spot. But my opponent has a good rack. He's got Lasua. That blocks my Sextolet. I play Sexto for... Well, I don't play it there. Sexto B14. Oh, wow, because Zax is good. Yeah, pretty good. And Text for 44 in that spot. I think that was the play, retaining the S. Instead, I do this for 36, so nothing like as good. I just missed the Zax hook. Opponent plays Kaya, which gives me Strammel for 94, which I was delighted with, and that put me 40 points in the lead, but my opponent comes straight back with a bingo. I have this rack. I play Epiirid, which, what does that do? Well, brings me nearly level. Opponent plays Condone, and I have my bingo blocked of boarding. I didn't see Bodrag, E2. Ah, very nice. Making ego and pack. Instead I played badge for 25. Okay, maybe broad rag would have been better given that the blank is out there. My opponent does not have a good rack, but he does well to find UV-itic. And now things look bleak for me. I'm 30 points behind, and suddenly I have a rack with no bingo, no scoring tiles. And look at this, nothing above 22. But Koru looks quite nice, J9. Yeah. What did I do? I play Urea for 22. Not much difference between those. My opponent does have the S and the blank. So my fate, I think, is sealed. He plays Phi. So he played 5 from this, keeping EOSU blank. Pretty good play given how vowel light the bag is. And he's setting up column 15 for his S, so that's a nice play. This is my rack. I reluctantly played Fern. And my opponent does have UWW, so he drew both Ws, which is a bit of a shame for him. Let's see what the best he could have done. Yeah, no bingo. But ours, a nice play for 46 points. And finally, Baith was good for 36, so that probably would have been the play, and that would have brought me to 390, 17 points behind. Instead, I foolishly tried a phony, which my opponent rightly challenged off, and he goes out with worse. So, a pretty exciting game. Always good fun to play a 9-letter play. A missed bingo in the mix, and neck and neck until right before the end. So, well done again to my opponent. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.